Okay, we're back again. Hello to all the music guitar players out there. This is Guitar Music Theory, P.D.T style, practice, dedication and time. I'm Philip and welcome to the One Another system. So, before we do the One Another system, this one's going to be for mainly the beginners to see if their ears up to scratch, and intermediate can have a bit of a go, but the advanced players obviously should be able to sort of pick it up and see what's actually happening. So if you've been playing for 5, 10, 15 years, whatever, and you can't play it onto the stereo, right, then you need to stick around and have a bit of a look and see if this could help you. You are my main target, the ones that have been long-term players. That's who I'm trying to help out the most here. For the beginners, absolute gold. Right? So anyway, we're going to start off with trying to work out what's actually happening with sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play a note, right? And I want you to try and find it. Now I'm going to give you 3 options, right? So what's going to happen in a minute's time or so, I'm going to get you to turn around with the guitar. And I'm going to play a note, right? Now don't cheat, just try and actually do it. And then what you've got to try and do is you've got to try and actually find that note. Before you even find that note, write down on a piece of paper where you think it's sitting. So at a guess, where is that note? So the 3 options are, you've got the first string and the second string. It's like the top end, the high end of the sounds. It could be either one of those 2, right? Or we've got the middle section of the guitar. Could be sort of like that sort of sound, or bottom end. Could be something like that. So you've got to say it's the 6th and the 5th string. I think it's in between there. Or no, I think it's actually between the 3rd and the 4th string, and then just have a guess which one you actually think it is and say, okay, I'm going to choose the 3rd string instead of the 4th, and I'm sitting. Then you find it. When you find it, you'll be able to tell exactly where you are by looking at it. So I'm going to show you something, right? So I'm going to play the very first fret of the 1st string, for example. Right, so this is what I'm going to try and get you to do, but I'm going to show the first one. So I've got the F note on the very first fret of the 1st string, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump onto the next string, which sits above it, the 2nd string from where that sound came from. Go straight up there, slide and stop till I get to it. I'm actually rising to the sound to try and find it, right? So that was the sound that I heard. Lito, hang on a minute. Lito, that's enough. Stop scratching the door. Anyway, I try and rise to the sound, and that's what you want to try and do. And usually to rise to the sound, you would go forward, right? And it doesn't matter even sometimes when I'm listening to music or something like that, and I've actually gone past it, I'll still usually rise till I hear it again, and it's like, no, that's there, and then I'll come back and, okay, I was a bit too far, and then I'll descend. So instead of going like, and let's say I was doing the key of G, I'm always playing in the key of G until I get pulled away from it, right, with the stereo. It's got to attract my ear and it's got to get my interest, and then I'll decide, okay, no worries, what's happening here, and I'll try and jump in. So I've got the G note happening there, and I've got to try and find another one and lock it in, but we were on the F. So there's the F there, you'll rise to the sound. So instead of descending to the sound, I'd rather rise to the sound. So when you're listening to the stereo and it's playing the song, they're all playing together, they're all contributing to that sound. You're hearing a noise. You've got to try and see if you can make a noise come out of your mouth that matches that. So people that can actually tune in the guitar, I've got an idea of what I'm talking about. If you can actually get to the one that they're playing, right, and you do the one another system from there, then you will find it, because it shows you every single one of them. That's why if you find the one, which is the key that they're playing in, play the one another system, you will find where they are and you will become one another with them. So that's basically how it's going to happen. So when I go to the F note, there isn't really a lot of difference whether I come from the fret just behind, 2 frets behind that, 3 frets behind that, just as long as I pull up at the right one. That's what you've got to try and do, get to the right one. So, people could get confused and say, well, I think it was that one and it's supposed to be that one. So now, I'm going to turn around. You might have a piece of paper handy there and a pen or something. You can write down your own results, find out where you're sitting with sound. So we're just playing one single sound. And here it comes, right? That's the sound that I'm making. I'm trying to give you time to find that sound. Before you find it, tell me and have a guess where you think it's sitting. Is it up the high end? Is it in the middle end? Or is it down the bottom end? I'll play it again so you can hear it, right? I don't know if you're chasing it or not, but if you guessed that it was on the second and the first string, you are not correct. If you guessed that it was between the third and the fourth string, you are somewhat correct. If you're on the fifth string or the sixth string somewhere, that is out as well. So I'm actually on the third string. And I'm actually on the 9th fret. Right, so I don't know whether you got that one. I'm going to do another one, right, and go somewhere completely different. I'm going to do 5 of these and then you can write down your score. If you didn't do too well, then I'll suggest what you do is you try and record it somewhere where you're doing single sounds, right? Try not to make any noises in the background, coughing, because you'll know that that was I, yeah, that was C, or that was G, but I prefer to follow sound and music notation, right? So here we go with the second one. All right, here we go. There's the next one. What string do you think it's coming from? Is it the first and the second? Is it the third and the fourth? Or is it the fifth and the sixth? If you said the first and the second, you're out. If you said the fifth and the sixth, you are out. If you say it's the third string and you're on the 4th fret, that was the one. Right? It's just like tuning the guitar. You've got to get to the right one. And tune them both the same. I tune it to the one another system. Right? That's what I do with the guitar. So the tuning is standard tuning. I'll give you my 2 E's just. I'm just under tuned, right? That's where I like to sit with the stereo, 87 degrees. So if you're thinking about fully tuned at 440 straight up on the digital tuner, I'm just a tad lower than that. And I find that I'll sit better with the stereo when I do that. Okay, we're doing another one. Here we go. I don't know how you're scoring so far, how you're getting it, but let's have another go. Okay, here I go. Where does that sound come from? Is that a high string? Is it a middle string somewhere? Or at the bottom end somewhere? Give you time to find it. I'll play it again now. Try and find that, right? So you would stop. And you would, that's how you would find it. But I'm sitting on the 4th string and I'm on the 7th fret. Okay, I'll do one more. Right, here we go. Does that sound like it's coming from the low string, high string, or middle string? What section? High end, top end, middle end? Okay, play it again. Are you chasing it? Did you get it? Don't know. Okay, so if you're on the 6th or the 5th string, you're out. If you're on the 4th and the 3rd string, you're out. And if you're on the 1st string, you're correct. Okay. That's what it's about, really. Okay, but you're locking them in. Right, so if you find one, you make up one. Just choose whatever one you want. They're all the same. Right? So just place your finger on the spot somewhere, and that's the first sound. It doesn't matter what key it's in. Don't have to worry about sharps and flats with this. It's all do, re, mi, fa, sol, ti, do. The beginning is the end, and the end is the beginning. Right? Okay, so we got 3rd fret of the 1st, off the 6th string, with my 1st finger. Right, so the 1st finger of my left hand is that 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I've got my 1st finger on the 3rd fret, finding the octave, right? Which is 1 again, or 8. If you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Starts on do, ends on do. 12 frets to an octave, right? So we've got 2 1s there. We lock them in. We should have the 4th finger sitting on there, right? Instead of the 3rd, we should be on the 4th finger. So you normally wouldn't play more than 4 frets. So I'm not breaking any 4 fret rule, I'm actually coming inside of it, right? But there's a reason behind that, right? That's the sound you're trying to get out of it. Doesn't matter whether you're going with a plectrum or you're doing it picking. That's the first one. Lock it in. You have to lock it in. Right. We've got also the open one. The open one's the best one. But that's as far as I can go. I can't do it in this key. I can only do it in that key. Or the other one. Yeah, that works there, right? Okay, so we've got the G, we're going to stay on there, and we're just going to work out 1. Okay, now we're going to try and get to that note there. I'm dropping this one, and we're going to get to that note there now. When you're on the 4th string, doesn't matter where you are on the 4th string, you can go to the 1st string, right, which is where I'm sitting at the moment. In any key, it's the same pattern, right, but the one another system. So you've got your 1st finger down on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and it's the same as the 6th string because it's the same tuning, right? They're both E's. Okay, so now we've got that one another system happening there. We've got to lock it in, 2 of them together. Now my 1st finger, I'm going to put it on that one over here, which is the 4th string, 5th fret, and I'm adding the next one, which is another 1. It's the same one. It's the same sound. Lock it in. There it is there. Then, from there, so I went from here going to take this finger off and I'm going to go straight to where the first finger is, which should be the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So when you're on string number 4, you can go to the 2nd string in any key, like that, or you can go to the 3rd, back to there again, right? So now I've brought it down to there, and I'm on the 5th string. So whenever you're on the 2nd string, you go straight to the 5th string. And there it is there, you lock it in, There's the 2 notes there, the 2 root notes, right? And then that one there, you move it up. When you get to this point here, you're back at the beginning, because you were starting up here, you're 12 frets away, that's an octave, so you're back at the beginning. So if you're on the 6th string, the 4th string, from the 4th you can go to the 2nd, or you can go to the 1st, right? And then it just keeps repeating itself. And it doesn't matter what key you start in. If you got your E, there's your E, you got your E, there's your E. Remember, when you're on the 4th string, you got to go to the 2nd string, or you can go to the 1st one if you can get it, right? Okay, when you're on the 2nd string, you go to your 5th string. When you're on your 5th string, you go to the 3rd string. Right? When you're on your 3rd string, you go to your 1st. 6, 4, 2, 5. They're all exactly the same. Right? So, by listening to what's happening on the stereo, trying to make a sound that's kind of like close to it, find it, and then from there start the one another system, look for another one that's exactly the same that. Never break the rule of what it is here. It's supposed to be like whenever you're on the 6th string, you go to the 4th, you can go to the 3rd if it allows it. 3rd string I'm talking about, from the 6th to the 3rd string open. Right? And then, once you've learnt the one another system, and you think you know it properly, because it falls in every single key, right? Let's try C. There you got C, right? So you got the C chord. Right, if you just put that, the single note, which is just, it doesn't matter where you are on the 5th string, right? You just place your finger somewhere, let's say it happened to be the C note, which is on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, right? Let's just say you happen to put it there. The one another system is actually telling you to go to, from the 5th you go to the 3rd string. Right? And it's also telling you that the 1st string is there. That's the one other system right there, without adding the extra bits and pieces in there to fill up the chord and make it a C major. Right, so we just got ones. When you're on the 3rd string, you can go to the 1st. You can go to the 6th. Oh, because the 1st and the 6th are the same. From the 6th, you go back to the 4th string. Right? From the 4th string, you can go to the 2nd string, or the 1st string. Right? From the 2nd string to the 5th string, and it just keeps repeating itself. Right? And then once you've got that worked out properly, you reckon you've got it worked out, and you put your guitar down for a minute. Right? Place it down over there somewhere. And then what you try and do is I want you to picture yourself doing the C chord, right? Let's say can you imagine yourself on the fingerboard where you are doing the C chord. Now, the 5th string is the C, right? What I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to go to the next note higher up that you're hitting when you're strumming down the C chord, right? So we're talking about the fourth string, your finger that's on the fourth string when you're playing the C chord. Don't play it and hear it, because if you've played it, you've completely missed the ball of what's supposed to be happening here, right? So the guitar should be still down on the ground. You're supposed to be trying to understand what I'm trying to say to you. So let's say you are on that spot of the fourth string. It's going to be a sound there. We don't know what that sound is. But if I said to you, I want you to find that sound, I could pick any string I want. So okay, let's pick the first string. Where is that sound on the first string? Where's it going to pull up? If you do the one another system, using this, okay, so you're on the fourth string. Where do you go in the one another system? To get to the next spot, you can go to your second string. Alright, it's not there because I've got to find on the first string somewhere. I've got to wait till I find on the first string. You're not playing a single thing at the moment. You're on the second string. That's where the fourth one is. You're playing it to the second string. From the second string you go up to the fifth string. That's where it sits, on the fifth string, right? From the fifth string you go down to your third string. Your third string should be the same as your fifth. What was it? If you're on the fifth string, you go to the third string, yeah. And then you go from the third to the first, and that's where it is. It should be on the 12th fret. And if you check it and you have a listen to it, right, you'll hear that note there that you started off with that you didn't even hear, you managed to actually find it wherever you were asked to find it. And that's how the one another system works, right? You don't have to hear it to find it. You do have to see it. Right. So the one another system is a pearl for everyone. So now, for the beginners out there, go and draw up the neck and pretend it's lying down flat on a piece of paper, like the guitar's lying flat in front of you. You got the 6th string first, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw up the neck, all the frets and everything, and try and do the one another system by putting the dots in. I'm going to show you a bit of a drawing later on. I'll have to sort of draw it up and see if I can show it to you, visually show it to you. Right? But really it's opening up the neck. The one another system is designed to open up the neck so you can see where everything is, because it's just overwhelming. There's just so many frets and everything. It's good to know where one is, because when you get to the one that's the right one, then it's the right one. Yeah. Okay. So, everything that I play, I'm actually searching for the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, the major scale that sits in with the song at its right point, right? By tuning the guitar into the one another system, right, it ends up falling back into just the same as what everybody else is in, right? So if I had my 6th string, right, I just touch the keys. I don't even turn them. I just like touch it, and it's like I can hear it rising and that, just touching it. But instead of putting all that pressure on the 6th string, pulling down on this side of the neck, right, pulling up my bridge and pulling down on this side of the neck, and then I'm going to tighten up the other ones, and it's all going to twist around. So try and spread the load of when you're tightening up those keys up there throughout the strings. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm playing the one, I'm playing my G, right? And I'm trying to tune my 4th string in, which is the other G. That's how I try and get the one another system tuning happening, right? You can do it in any key you want. Should all end up in the same spot. Not even turning it. one another system worked out, and then you realise that it doesn't matter what chord you come up with, and you do the one another system, they all just go into place, right? And then I just don't even know what key I'm playing in anymore. I know I'm there, I'm just too far up the neck to work out what's happening because there's just too much information. So I'm just following sound, I'm following the major scale, the right one. It's a bit like tuning in the guitar to the one another system. I'm trying to find the right one, not just getting to the keys good enough. You've got to blend in with it. So if you're playing a G chord and somebody's singing, you're thinking of playing the G and it doesn't quite fit in. There's another one, that might be a bit better. Or it's just the one another system. You just drop in the 1, 3, 5s, and the one another system gives you your whole major chord dictionary in every single key. You play about 10 different ways, whatever's possible to fit on the neck. It shows you all the options. Right, number 1 is the most important one in any key. The more ones you can add together, the better it's going to sound. But it helps to get to the right one, to become the one another system, with them playing. I hope you got it, because I could have done the one another system 34 years ago when I started, but I've never seen it. I had to figure it out for myself. I feel embarrassed and disappointed, that it wasn't shown to me. People are in too much of a rush to go into the next phase of music, which is like learn one everywhere first. Once you know where one is, just move it, do exactly the same thing. You're doing it in another key. Doesn't matter where you start from. Is it the 4th string somewhere, is it the 3rd, or is it the 2nd? If it's the 2nd, where do we go from the 2nd? We go straight to the 5th. And then you've got your chords that fit in there. So, play your major scale. You play your major scale with another scale, right? So you might play in your bass line your major scale, the full major scale in the bass line. So you got the major scale in G, right? And you'd have to play first in the bass line, and then maybe when you're doing the melody, you do it backwards. I might add a flattened 7th here and there instead of the major 7th,